All right, strap in, everyone. Today we are going deep into Time of the Twins.
Oh, yeah.
And this one is a doozy. This is Dragonlance.
It is.
And this time it's Raistlin Majere seeking godhood. And the only one who can stop him is his twin brother, Caramon.
It's a big one.
Yeah. But there's a twist. Caramon is sent through time to confront his brother. So we've got a broken hero, a mage who wants ultimate power, and a lot of time travel.
Sounds like fun. Well, it's fascinating, right? This story flips the script, you know? We've seen Raistlin's power, but this time his ambition, it's off the charts.
It is.
And Caramon, usually the strong one, he's shattered, you know, after the War of the Lance.
Yeah, after the War of the Lance.
He's seen some things, and for anyone who needs a refresher, the War of the Lance was this huge conflict, shook Krynn to its core, heroes against the forces of darkness, you know?
Totally.
But Caramon saw some things, and now he has to, like, find his strength again and face this choice, stand against his twin.
It's a big one. And our sources for this, they really bring this conflict to life.
They do.
We've got Astinus' chronicles, his meticulous records.
Astinus is always good.
Always good. Glimpses into Caramon's thoughts,
Yeah.
his tormented thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
And even a bit of Tasslehoff's unique perspective on things.
Oh, yes. A little Tass always spices things up.
Always. But yeah, all of those sources together really paint this vivid picture of a world that's just on the brink.
Right, of collapse.
Yeah.
And, you know, Astinus, he observes the Tower of High Sorcery, shrouded in this ominous aura, radiating dark power. Raistlin has been holed up there, completely isolated for 2 years, like the calm before the storm, but a magical storm.
2 years. What's he been doing all that time?
That's where it gets interesting, right? He is meticulously planning his ascension to godhood. He's playing the long game here.
Oh, boy.
And one of his pawns is Crysania, a cleric of Paladine.
Crysania, she is devoted to good.
Yeah, super devoted.
How does he even get near her?
Well, that's Raistlin. He's a master manipulator.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he preys on Crysania's compassion, subtly planting these seeds of doubt about the church, her faith. He doesn't want worldly power, though.
So he's going for something bigger.
He wants divinity.
Oh, wow.
And he's willing to use anything and anyone to get it.
So that's pretty messed up. But what about Caramon? Where does he fit in?
So we see Caramon spiraling after the War of the Lance, like truly spiraling, haunted, the weight of his past, you know, crushing him, just drowning in despair.
Oh.
Shadow of his former self.
Man, that's tough.
It's tragic.
I can't imagine going through that.
It really is. But luckily he has Tika. She is, you know, a force of nature. She's not going to let him wallow. She pushes him, makes him face his demons. And it's interesting, right? Because this kind of mirrors his past offer to follow Raistlin.
Oh, okay.
But this time he's following to stop him.
That's a good parallel. So while all of this is going on with Caramon, what's the setting like? Where's all this taking place?
So the heart of this story takes place in Istar.
Okay.
And this beautiful, prosperous city, just incredible. But there's the shadow looming over it all, the Tower of High Sorcery, like a symbol of decay, right, amongst this grandeur.
Yeah.
And then we have the Kingpriest.
Oh, the Kingpriest. He's a big deal.
Huge deal. He's charismatic, fanatical in his devotion, but he's also obsessed with control, right?
Oh.
He thinks he's the only one who can interpret divine will.
Oh, boy.
And he's suppressing magic. It's the root of all evil, he thinks.
So he's like the big guy in charge there. What does that mean for our heroes?
Well, for Caramon, it means being thrown into the gladiatorial games. It's all for show, of course, for the masses.
Right.
But it's brutal, right? And Caramon's forced to confront his trauma in this really visceral way.
Gladiator games. That's intense. Why would they do that to Caramon, though? I mean, a war hero?
It's all a facade, right? Like his piety. Arek, the dwarf, he kind of manages Caramon, and he tells this story about staging a gladiator's death, like extreme lengths to get the audience going.
Wow. So while all of this is happening, Raistlin is just plotting in a tower. How do those two storylines even connect?
Well, hold on. Raistlin isn't just hiding in the tower. He's disguised as Fistandantilus.
Wait, Fistandantilus? He's supposed to be dead?
Exactly, which is what makes it so brilliant.
Oh, I see.
No one suspects a thing, and he uses this to get close to the Kingpriest, manipulate events.
That's pretty sneaky, even for Raistlin?
Oh, he's good. He's really good.
But hold on, where does Tasslehoff fit into this? You mentioned him before.
Oh, Tass. Always got to have Tass. So he accidentally triggers a time jump.
What?
And ends up right in the middle of Istar, just as things are about to get crazy.
A time jump. Now that's throwing a wrench in things.
Oh, it gets complicated. And it really impacts Caramon. Remember, he's struggling. His loyalty to Raistlin, Tasslehoff makes him confront all of it.
Oh, wow. So Tasslehoff, the accidental time traveler, becomes this catalyst for Caramon.
He does.
That's crazy. But what about Crysania? How does she react to all of this?
So her faith is crumbling, right? And she's seeing the cracks in the Kingpriest's facade. But she's also drawn to Raistlin. Remember, he's disguised as Fistandantilus.
Right, right.
And he's manipulating her, offering this twisted kind of comfort. It's a dangerous game.
So we've got Caramon dealing with his past, Raistlin manipulating everybody, Crysania caught in the middle, and Tasslehoff hopping through time. What happens next?
That, my friend, is a story for our next part. But let's just say the stage is set for a confrontation that's going to change everything. As the tension builds, the Cataclysm approaches. The fate of Kryn hangs in the balance.
Oh, boy.
And it's amazing how these struggles are happening as Istar is about to fall apart.
Right.
The city on the edge, you've got Caramon fighting these demons in the arena. He doesn't even know Raistlin's behind it all in the Kingpriest's court.
It's like these parallel stories about to crash into each other. One brother wants redemption through, like, brute strength, and the other wants ultimate power.
Yeah.
And between them is Crysania.
Right.
Who's losing faith as she sees Istar for what it really is.
And her story is so important because it shows us who the Kingpriest really is. He's not just a leader, he's obsessed with control. He thinks he's the only one who understands the gods, surrounds himself with people who agree with him, so he's isolated from what's really going on.
Almost tragic. You know, he's so righteous he can't see the harm he's causing. And Crysania wanted guidance.
She did.
Now she's questioning everything.
And the sources, they show us how deep this hypocrisy goes. Crysania sees the poverty, the despair that's hidden beneath Istar's beauty. The Kingpriest is blind to the needs of his people.
That's sad. Does he even realize the damage? But it also shows how strong Crysania is.
Oh, totally.
She's not just following anymore. She wants the truth, even if it means challenging her faith.
It's such a contrast to Caramon. He's regaining his strength.
Physical strength.
Yeah, exactly. In the arena, Crysania is going through the spiritual trial.
Yeah.
Both are fighting to survive, but in such different ways.
So while this is happening, what's going on with Raistlin? Last we saw, he was disguised as Fistandantalus.
He's still undercover, using his disguise to learn forbidden things, influencing the Kingpriest, creating chaos among the clergy. It's risky, but that's Raistlin.
Yeah.
He loves the risk. He thinks he's destined for greatness.
Wow.
Nothing's going to stop him.
Okay, so we've got Caramon in the arena, Crysania questioning her faith, Raistlin pulling strings. Then there's Tasslehoff.
Oh, yeah.
The time traveler.
Right, like throwing fuel on the fire.
It really is. But his arrival, it's not random.
No.
It messes with Raistlin's plans. Makes Caramon face his loyalty.
It does.
Tasslehoff becomes this, like, unexpected force, pushing Caramon toward Raistlin.
It's true.
That's wild. Tasslehoff, the Kender, has this huge impact.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, is he more than just comic relief? Maybe there's a deeper purpose?
Could be. But while Tasslehoff's shaking things up for Caramon, Crysania's got her own problems. The Kingpriest, he sees her connection to Raistlin. He gets suspicious, sees her as a threat.
He's so paranoid.
Right. He confines her, afraid of her influence.
Wow.
And this just pushes her further away from him.
So she's trapped while Caramon's in the arena. What's happening there?
So the games, they're brutal.
Yeah.
But they're changing him. He's pushed to the limit, finds his strength again.
Okay.
But it's not just physical. He's getting mentally tough, too. Thinking strategically, questioning Raistlin.
So the games, they're helping him heal?
In a way, yeah. They break him down, make him face his trauma. It's painful, but necessary.
So he's becoming the warrior he needs to be, to face what's coming. But is he really ready to stand against Raistlin?
That's the question, isn't it? Caramon's figuring himself out, seeing the world beyond Raistlin.
Oh, wow.
Seeing the danger, not just to Kryn, but to Caramon himself.
That's a heavy realization. But there's hope, too, right?
Yes.
Like he's breaking free.
It is.
Finding his own way.
He is. And as this happens, the Cataclysm is getting closer. Astinus talks about these 13 calamities.
The calamities.
Yeah, like omens. Skies turning red, seas boiling, creatures appear.
That's ominous.
It's this feeling that something terrible is about to happen.
Wow. It sounds like the world's in pain.
And it's all because of the Kingpriest. Suppressing magic, thinking he can control the gods.
Right.
Chaos.
Like a warning, you know.
Yeah.
About power and arrogance.
It is, but through all of this, Raistlin's still playing his game.
He is.
And he uses the fear to his advantage. Tells Crysania he's the only one who can stop the Cataclysm.
He's really good at this.
Oh, he's a master. Playing on fear and desire, and as he does this, Caramon's trying to figure out his own role.
Right.
He knows something's wrong, but he's loyal to Raistlin.
It's a tough spot. He loves his brother, but sees the danger.
It's a huge dilemma, a turning point for him. Love, fear, responsibility. His choices now will change everything.
We're on the edge of something big here. The Cataclysm's coming, Raistlin's making his move, Caramon's fighting his conscience, Crysania's in the middle. So what happens next?
Well, that's for our final part. We'll see how it all comes together, how the Cataclysm changes Kryn, and the sacrifices that have to be made.
So the Cataclysm is about to hit. Tension is everywhere.
It is.
What's going on with the Kingpriest?
So he's convinced he can stop it. Imagine him at the altar in the temple, praying.
Okay.
But the sources, they show something else. Not a confident leader, but a terrified man, clinging to power as everything falls apart.
It's all fake. The righteousness, was it all just fear? Did he even believe it?
Pride before the fall. He thought he could control the gods, magic, everything. But in the end, he's just scared.
And Tasslehoff, he was hiding in the temple.
He's got a front row seat to this, sees the cracks in the Kingpriest. Tass traveled through time, right?
Yeah.
He's seen the Kingpriest at his best, and now his worst. Worldly power doesn't mean much now.
That's a big lesson, even for Taz. But what about Caramon? He's still in the arena.
He is, fighting for his life, the final bout, Arx hyping it up, battles to the death.
Wow.
But Caramon's made up his mind, he's going to face Raistlin.
So the games, they're not about recovery anymore. Just something to get past. He's breaking free.
He is. This is huge for him. Not just surviving, but choosing his own path, even if it means going against Raistlin.
The games, they actually prepared him for this. Finding his strength again, his will.
You got it. And while this is happening, in the temple, things are getting worse. Tass sees the Kingpriest's prayers answered,
oh no,
but not how he wanted. The Cataclysm starts.
Talk about bad timing. He's really facing the music now.
It's total chaos. Earthquakes, the temple breaking apart, Istar is falling, and Crysania, her faith is really tested.
She's seen the Kingpriest for what he is, and now his power is gone. What happens to her?
Everything she believed is gone. The man she worshipped is just a wreck. She's lost, looking for something to hold on to.
And Raistlin, he's right there.
Of course, uses her fear, promises her power, a way out.
He's so manipulative, cruel.
He knows how to use people, but someone sees through it. Tasslehoff.
Tass, what does he do?
He may be a kender, but he's got a good heart. He sees the danger, and he does something crazy. He breaks that magical device.
The time travel thing, what does that do?
We don't know everything, but it messes with Raistlin's plans. Big time. Changes time, affects all of Crim.
So even Tasslehoff, he's changing things without realizing it.
He is. It shows that little things can have big effects, especially with time travel. But while Tass is doing that, Caramon's got his own challenge.
He gets out of the arena?
As the Cataclysm hits its worst, he escapes, runs to the temple. He has to stop Raistlin.
This is it. Brother against brother. Good versus evil. The fate of Kryn is on the line.
The sources, they say it's heartbreaking. A battle of wills. Caramon with love and despair, and Raistlin with ambition and power.
Caramon? To face his own brother like that, knowing you might have to kill him. That's a lot to carry.
It had to happen. Their bond, it's broken. Caramon chooses to oppose him. He loses a part of himself.
So as Istar falls and the world changes, Caramon wins, but it cost him everything.
He's not the same. He saved Crim, but lost his brother. It's a hard lesson about sacrifice, duty, and family.
Time the Twin really makes you think. About choices, sacrifices, what matters most.
We've seen Raistlin's ambition, Caramon's journey, the danger of power. But there's hope. Caramon's courage to stand against his own twin that shows the power of love and sacrifice.
What a story. Thanks for taking us through Time of the Twins.
It was my pleasure. And to everyone listening, think about this. What would you sacrifice to save the world? And would you pay the price? Until next time on The Deep Dive.